Hello guys, and welcome to the highlights video of the Creator Series around at Australia Orbit Park. Guys, welcome to the highlights, to the extended highlights of our comeback race. We're jumping straight into qualifying. A tight session after we went for the Inters Championship pole. The first lap on the qualifying session always has to be intermediates. We've done that. Sadly, in not too good of a fashion, but here we are on our actual qualifying lap. Going hard, going quick. Sadly, not quick enough, it seems, as we're entering the back straight after the first sector. Obviously, Australia in its new version with the high-speed back end of the track. Less chicanes, faster speed, less wings, less grip, less downforce, more top speed. All of these things. As you can see, we have traffic ahead, the rear end twitchy on that Haas. And yet we're trying to maximize everything we have in the lap. Turn 12, a missed apex, and a couple of weird indicators there on the left with the yellow flag. However, what needs to be said is that this hot lap obviously not good enough. You see us being hesitant, you see us being slow, you see us missing sectors. The bad news was this was our only chance. Despite 6.5 minutes left, rain was hitting the track on our outlap for the second attempt, killing it. And that meant we started 17th on the grid. Lights go out and it's green, green, green for the 58 laps of racing here in Orbit Park. Once again, a bad start. We've seen that from the career mode, and then we tried to hang around the outside, got pushed off there a little bit. Making it 3 wide wasn't probably the smartest idea, but on the way to turn 3, guys, have a look into the mirror, check on the Haas, because suddenly that torpedo was on the inside, completely bouncing there into turn 3, testing my reactions.
What was that?
What was that indeed? Guys, we have been really, really lucky to keep our front wing here in lap 1. I don't know what the Haas guy has done on the inside, but he was bowling into turn 3, and it was safe to say that he has certainly hit a strike. Lap 2 it is then. We have recovered from the little mishap back in P18, but sitting in the draft on the back strip. DRS about to be opened, but Meraki and the Williams already ahead of us, and that means we are dropping to penultimate. That is surely not how we wanted or how we expected our comeback to the Creator Series to be. However, as we see, the guys ahead were scrubbing for position, lots of side-by-side, a lot of chaos, people 2 wide, 3 wide, pairs of 2s into the final chicane as Lolinuba runs over the curb, and then we run into the back of Lolinuba because there was a parked car. I cannot believe it. And then I ran again into Lolinuba on the way to the pits, having to pit for a new front wing at the end of lap 2. The drama about this, I was first of all completely confused. Late on the turn-in, as you see, already completely annoyed. Lap 2, and it's just a virtual safety car. And I was wondering about why this is just a VSC. But that was the deal. The 2-stop strategy in the bin, and 16 laps into the race, we were about to do our next pit stop maybe eventually, as we have closed the gap, and then the safety car came out to the dislike of literally the entire grid apart from me. I was like, hell yeah, finally we're going to be back in the race. And there was no other option for us other than to start burn some fuel, ask our engineer for what to do next, and of course we went for the pits, went for fresh set of mediums, and in lap 21 we got underway again. Safety car restart. What are you gonna do down from P15? The pendulum effect has swung already, we're just going on to the straight. back to green, green, green. So as you can see, going through lap 1, the field already separated, the field already sorted. That means no real opportunity for us on picking up on maybe some battles and someone losing time. Everyone was like, you know, really chilled and sorting themselves out as the race got underway again. However, it was just 2 laps later then when we were on the rear end of Arzeno. And Arzeno in the Alpine, I'm not sure whether he is not pitted on the last safety car. However, he was struggling with pace and performance. Even before the DRS, we went for an opportunistic move towards the fast chicane here on the inside. Turn 9 and 10, also closing the gap to Hoodie Pete, who hasn't had DRS as well, because ahead of him, no car. So I was like, you know what, we have DRS again, let's burn a little bit of energy and try to go move around the outside here into turn 12. Is it gonna work? Actually, we made it to the apex first because of fresh tires, so that really got us the position, and then it was just 1 lap later that the safety car
That Sauber guy asked for it, like...
came out again.
I don't know what is his mission.
And we have seen some Sauber in the background being very aggressive on driving, likely him to cause a safety car that came back in 2 laps after lap 25. Safety car in this lap. We were getting ready once again, this time already in P11, because the guys that have not pitted at the last safety car went in for their opportunistic move to the pits this time. So back together with Meraki in 10th, the Williams ahead of us. We went again for green, 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 green into lap 26. And at the end of lap 26, things got feisty ahead of us. Meraki with a run out of the fast chicane on Adam Sanderson, on his teammate. Side by side, they go to the inside. Contact between the two. And very narrowly, we were able to slow down the car enough. Found a gap on the outside of Meraki, taking 10th position. And splitting the 2 Williams in half. Just a couple of laps later, lap 31. On the rear end of Adam Sanderson, we look for a move, had to back out of it, but Adam Sanderson goes for the move himself and almost spins it. Another time we have to dodge a Williams, however this time he not only loses 1 position but 2.
Really testing my reactions today.
As Meraki also swept through to make up that position on his teammate. And I was seriously questioning, what was it with those Williams that they were testing my reactions that bad? It was really, really interesting. However, Meraki then was on the move, DRS wide open, lots of ERS he pushed, and I just had nothing against it because no DRS and not too much of ERS available for us anyway, as we were recharging the battery here at 27%. So I decided to just chill back, stay behind Meraki here for the time being. Do not touch this curb ever again, Mitchie. And anyone else, you've just seen it, it just likes to kill you. Then lap 36, respectively lap 37 came, and as you can see, we have joined the full train, meanwhile sitting in 10th position, and right ahead of us, a full train up until the lead. So guys, we were back in contention. Lap 37, we had 2 cuts done already, and we were desperately waiting for the 3rd, and as you can imagine, of course, we got it. And while we were still sad about it, we had to straight away focus again, because Meraki went for the move, had another clip on the inside on Sky C.
I'm sick of it, guys, honestly.
And it was another Williams testing my reaction yet again. So things now started to pick up the pace. We decided to keep as close as possible to this group, because this was vital. Maybe even doing the move here on Meraki. We had the button pressed, DRS on, but Meraki had DRS on the button himself, so because his car was a bit more efficient, he kept the position.
I don't want to randomly just...
As we are just having a look behind the scenes here that you see me editing some videos, you may have noticed that this is a type of new format video. These highlights videos is a little bit of a project of mine. And guys, I would appreciate you having a feedback on us, what you like about them, what you dislike about them, anything you would like me to improve, anything you'd like to criticize. Put it down in the comments area below. Let me know. And of course, if you appreciate what we're doing here, please give the video a like, subscribe the channel, and ring the bell to not miss out on more sim racing videos.
On that.
Just 3 laps later then, the mediums were done, and remember we did a pit stop in lap 3, boxing for new hard tires after our mishap with the wing. A big moment from us here into pit road that could have already ended our race straight away. However, we had this sort of new old medium still available, so we took on the medium tire with just 2 laps of age, and with 17 laps to go we were back out on the way, back in 13th behind Unstopped Rob, the Mercedes driver, almost running into the runoff area here, but catching DRS at least for the straight up towards turn 3. Then lap 43 came, and in lap 43 it was Sky C that was right behind us there in the Alfa Romeo, or in the Kick Sauber, call it whatever you want it. It was Sky C on the move, and he went for a move into turn 12 here on lap 43. We just quickly backed out of it, tried to not lose too much time here with battling, pulling behind, save a little bit of battery, and also really just trying to maximize our pace, because Sky C seemed quicker at that point. So I was like, you know what, just sit down here in DRS and pull me along. Maybe we can close the gap to Unstopped Rob, who was 2.5 seconds ahead of us with roughly 14 laps to go. 2 laps later though, on the rear end of Sky Z, and this time it was the other way around. We had 80% of battery, we were on the move. It felt like that Sky Z ran out of battery here, so I was like, you know what, you've pulled me for 2 laps, I can pull you for a couple of laps too as well. Went for a move before the fast chicane, and then we kept the hunt on for Unstopped Rob in the Mercedes. 2 laps later, we know the games. Sky Z back on it, and this time we had only 30% left on the battery. We let Sky C pass with no intention to defend this, because it was just faster to keep changing position, burn the battery, then change position again, load the battery in that time. The gap to Unstopped Rob has decreased to 1.5 seconds, and then in lap 48 it was time to get closer to the Mercedes as we go into the high-speed chicane. Sky C on the rear end of Unstopped Rob there for 8th position. Side by side they are taking the position, and that was clear for us that we had to do the move as well, trying to stay with Sky C here. Maybe he could even pull us along to P7, increasing our chances despite our penalty, because Sky C obviously had a penalty himself. As we went into lap 49, DRS wide open, I was on the button and across the line with 9 laps to go. Nothing we could do as we were stuck in that DRS train. However, we tried to still maybe get a run, and then another safety got deployed. And that was a bit of a bad story for us, because let's face it, we had no real advantage anymore, and the problem was with us having a 3-second penalty, it would shuffle us back very, very quickly. With just a couple of laps to go, the field would never really spread out enough in order to create enough of a gap. However, we went opportunistic, coming for a fresh set of soft tires for the remaining 8 laps, and whatever got taken away from the safety car at this stage. So the race was not done, but the race was coming green again just 1 lap later, end of lap 51. And with 6 laps to go, we take the green flag, sitting in 10th position behind Unstopped Rob in the Mercedes and ahead of Persia. Another feisty driver coming from behind, and I feared Persia a little bit, because if Persia is seeing an opportunity, he just goes for the gap no matter what. So I wanted to make sure whatever happens, I don't want to be under threat from Persia. So I tried to imply pressure straight away on Unstopped Rob here from the get-go. However, it took a little bit of time till things are sorted. As you can see, Adam Sanderson in the meanwhile ahead of Persia, so no real danger from behind. But with 4 laps to go, guys, we were in a big train here. As you can see, DRS wide open on everyone, and nothing you could do. Unstopped Rob even went a little bit defensive here. And we had a massive run here though, out of turn 1 into turn 2, DRS wide open, and he was side by side with Sky C, so there was a gap on the inside. We dived in, a little bit of contact made, however we leave the room for turn 4 on the left, then get another bonk being pushed off, got illegal overtake. But while I was wondering about illegal overtake, I found myself in the wall, and that was... like, you see it in my face. I had nothing else to say, but that was end of the race moment, because from here on, and I'm not sure if the engineer would just say it straight away, we had significant underfloor damage.
Okay, we think the underbody's incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious at the moment. Just be careful. Okay, gap ahead, 1.6 seconds.
After all, it allowed us to continue. The bad news though, however, was we couldn't do anything else at all. We kept the position, we also kept the gap, including the 3-second penalty. We came home in 11th. You see it on the face though, on our actual comeback race, there would have been so much more potential. First of all, believe we haven't had the penalty, and second of all, believe we could have made the move stick on Unstopped Rob for 9th position. There was lots and lots of potential that we left on the line here. Let's have a look into the move with Unstopped Rob. There was a bit of a controversy happening on the actual stream. As you can see in the chat, some people have blamed us ultimately for the contact. However, and I said this afterwards as well, I think the move down here was justified from the gap point of view. You can argue with the bonk, then this was a bit unfortunate, but ultimately Unstopped Rob turned in on us, and that glued our cars together, going straight towards the wall. So with us being a little bit unsatisfied, we take 11th at the end of this event. It could have been a better event, it could have been a worse event. After all, I'm just happy to have had another race with these guys, because this is an astonishing community, and as much as racing is fierce and racing is close and aggressive between each other, we're all having a good time. This is just good, fun racing. And guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please give it a like, share and subscribe the channel, and come back for more sim racing. Thanks for watching.